G'day fellas and welcome to Outback Octagon 3. This is game number 35. We're in the semi-finals now. I guess you could call it the semi-finals. We're in the finals. We're in the pointy end of the event because these are 8 players in the final 16. And only 8 players will make it through to the finals. So have a look at that. Oh, Lucifron. I'm not going to make any jokes about it today because I don't think I need to. You have definitely done that yourself. That is impressive. Where was I? Oh, sorry, I got a little bit too distracted there thinking about the sheep. Just outing myself as a New Zealander. Sorry. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We're back on topic. We're here. We're talking about, of course, what we all came here to see, the finals of Outback Octagon 3. This is the first game between these players in this set. There'll be 2 games in this set, and it's really important that some of the players in this game, in this set, do very well. There are players that it's not really that important to do well. Like, as an example, the pink player today, Marine Lord, not really that important if he does well. Because he's on so many points already, he's going to be fine. But we'll get into that in a little bit later. Let's take a look at our players for today. In the north of the map, in the color red, playing as the Ottomans, representing the Turks. Ladies and gentlemen, very thematically today, it is Sass. He managed to squeeze in by the skin of his teeth last week with an incredible victory over Marine Lord. Can he pull a victory out today? That is going to be the question on my mind, and that is what I'm going to be hoping to see. Of course, we want to see an underdog story. We want to see an underdog do well. Will this be his day today? In the east of the map, in the color orange, playing as Joan of Arc, representing Vietnam. It's Kayo. To his south, playing as the Delhi Sultanate, representing Hungary. It's Corvinus 1. In the middle of the map, all by his lonesome self. We've already touched on him a little bit earlier. He had a few sheep around him. Looks like they've all come home to roost. Representing Spain, playing as the Byzantines in the color yellow. It's Lucifron 7. To his south, he's got 3 players. We'll start with the one in blue, who plays as the Malians. Currently playing for Team My Insanity. Playing out of Belarus. It's Anatant. To his west, he's going to have trouble today. Ladies and gentlemen, talk about trouble in paradise. In the pink, representing Team M8 and fighting out of France. Ladies and gentlemen, in the pink, as the Ayyubids, it's Marine Lord. And to his south, in the color purple, as the French, representing Team Serbia. Well, not really. He's playing out of Serbia. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Beastie. And the final player for today, in the color teal, playing as the Order of the Dragon, representing Team Sweden. I think it's Team Sweden. I'm going to go with Team Sweden here. I'm locking it in, Eddie. That's an Australian. You guys wouldn't get it. So in Australia, we have Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and the guy who hosted, his name is Eddie Maguire. And so in Australia, we say, lock it in, Eddie, because his name is Eddie. So I'm locking it in, Eddie. Lock it in. I think he's from Sweden. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Baltoon. All right, welcome, welcome, welcome. Game number 35 of Outback Octagon number 3. Now, before these players go any further, let's take a quick look at how the tables currently stand. All right, so you'll see that there are players in the left column. They are the only ones that matter. Players in the right, they've been eliminated. So the players that have got 8 games are the ones who are playing today. So people who are right on the precipice are the ones who are going to be watching. People like Beastie with 30 points, currently sits at rank 7. People like Baltoon at rank 9, sits on 29 points. These 2 players are going to be looking to climb up this ladder. There's a couple players who are pretty safe. I think anybody above Vortex is going to be safe. Vortex might be in striking distance, but the stars would have to align for that to happen. Those are the players we're going to be watching. Lucifron, Kayo, as well as Anatan and Sass, together with Beastie and Baltoon. We don't really care too much about Marine Lord, don't really care too much about Corvinus, because they should be through no matter what. All right, let's take a look and see what we have got. Oh, you always hope it's going to be a juicy landmark, but unfortunately not the case here today. It is, it's just going to be a Byzantine landmark, and that's fine. Look, I don't mind a little bit of Grand Winery, but Our first age up is through, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be Marine Lord on the Culture Wing in the south of the map. Very quickly followed by Sass in the north of the map with, I was going to say the Twin Minaret Madrasa, but it doesn't look like. Instead going for the Sultanate Trade Network. Who's going to be next up? That is the question. Let's take a look and see. It's going to be Lucifron 7. Where is he? He's over in the yellow. Of course, we already saw him. Grand Winery coming up. And now everybody following him up. Anatant over in the east. Beastie still yet to age up, but he just gets it in time. Fair enough, Beastie. I respect that. He just makes it up. So what's the strats going to be from these players? It looks like a second TC coming in for Beastie. Very, very smart choice for him. It's not going to be an easy game for him. You know, ideally, Beastie wants an isolated spawn while playing the French so he can go 2 TC fast castle and then just kill people. Being close to somebody like Marine Lord here means there's a chance he gets locked into a little bit of combat in the early game. And that means somebody like Anatant, who's close by, might be able to cause him harm. So we've seen Beastie and Anatant have trouble in the past, and with a spawn this close, it could be another difficult game for him. So we're going to be hoping for Beastie's sake he's able to do well today, able to perform and make it through to the grand finals. Keep in mind that Beastie actually started out this tournament. If you take a look back to week 1, he started out on an incredible amount of points. I think it was something ridiculous, like 19 points after the first 2 games, which was insanity. And naturally, he wanted to do well in every single game, but he has not found as much success in subsequent weeks as he did in that first week. So we'll be looking today to see whether he'll be able to fix that up and whether he'll be able to secure a position in the grand finals. Already pressure on Marine Lord. We can see, is that just Marine Lord's king just standing there? Hey, Beastie. Is it bait? Is he just baiting it? Like, surely he's just baiting it and he wouldn't. Bro. So for anybody wondering why there are dervishes in age 2. Okay, he remembers, he realizes the king was out. You might be wondering why there's dervishes here in age 2. That's because he's gone for the culture wing. He's gone for the dervish age up. So probably going to be looking to age up with the eco wing. And honestly, I don't know why we haven't seen more of this. I theorized this like the day 1 that we saw the Ayyubids. I'm like, okay, this makes sense. Why don't people do this? Get dervish in age 1 and then get the Vils in age 2, or like aging up. It wasn't day 1. It was like once people realized Ayyubid fast castle was a thing. But anyway, it's good to see that it's happening. You know, the funny part is he won't go into economic wing growth. He'll go into trade wing bazaar. I'll be like, what the hell's going on here? But have a look at this. Beastie putting on the pressure. Marine Lord already with plenty of gold in the bank. Doesn't have the food to age up just yet. Beastie putting on early pressure. Now, who else can we expect early pressure out of? It looks like we may have already got some on that north side. Kaio going to be putting the pressure on towards Corvinus 1. We're going to be expecting a big game from Kaio here. He needs to try and pull out another victory if he possibly can. Second town center now coming up from Beastie towards the front. This is dangerous. This is really dangerous to be putting a TC down here. It's basically saying, hey, I don't care if you go castle age. I'm still going to try and fight you. I'm still going to try and beat... Dude, Marine Lord. Dude, Marine Lord. Yo, you got to be careful, brother. You got to be... He doesn't realize that he's emptying his whole town center and that the king is out here. This could be huge. This could be a massive mistake. Sass already reaching the castle age. It's going to be the Istanbul Imperial Palace that we get to see. Relics getting picked up. He's gone for the imams. Wait, age up's already come through from Baltoon? Did I just not see... When did Baltoon age up? He's Order of the Dragon. He's already got he's already got 2 out here. He's aged up a minute ago. 2 minutes ago? Wow. Did Marine Lord fix up the king? He did. He fixed up the king. It's only going to be a matter of time until he doesn't fix it up, though. Look at the... By the way, he's still not aged up yet. Beastie's done damage early on. The outpost locks down this food, and he's collecting on the back. It's not going to last forever, though. Beastie's done a great job at just delaying Marine Lord. Wall's now coming up for Anatant. He knows, you know what? These guys, I'm gonna let them fight. I'm gonna let them do their thing. But to be honest, like from the perspective of Beastie, I don't know if this is the right call though. I don't know if you want to be getting into a kind of fight like this, and it's always hard, right? Like you get French and you roll next to somebody, but to be putting on this kind of pressure early, you know what? He's the pro. I'm the caster. I'm gonna leave it to him, and I'm gonna say I think he knows what he's doing. Let's see what he's gonna try and pull out here, because at the moment that's the only action that we see on this map. Age ups still coming through from players across the map. Lucifron, of course, hitting the castle age. We do see monks now coming into queue. Remember that in the middle of the map, there are plenty of relics on this map because this is rigged. There is a crazy amount of relics. I think a total of like 17 or something stupid. Maybe even more than that. Maybe 20 relics But expect to see a lot of relics in possession of players. Baltoon already with 3. And if anything, that's going to very much favor him. Though he's not really close to any more relics. Like, he does have more relics out and about, and the prelates do make moves out here. But I don't know how much he actually knows 100%. All right, well, we're going to switch up our perspective for the moment. We're going to ride on board with Sass. He's in the north. He's not he's isolated. And I think he's got a great spawn. In fact, if I had to pick who would be the most likely to win this game, you'd have to say it's Baltoon or Sass. In fact, I'd probably say Baltoon because of the relic number and the fact he's got the Order of the Dragon. I think Baltoon's probably in the best position to win this game. That is purely it. Like, he's isolated enough, no one's going to attack him, but he's still kind of close to Sass. Oh, he's doing damage as well. Have a look at this. Sass's gold. Is this Sass's only gold? Oh, no, get out. Oh, this is big. Oh, if Sass loses this gold. I mean, even if there's an outpost here, he loses this gold. Like, you don't stop a Gilded Knight. Meanwhile, Beastie on the south side. Plenty of Desert Raiders now starting to come out, but Beastie moving in with the Knights. He's going to look to try and take the fight. Gets a surround off on that camel. Falls back and says, you know what, there's probably too much there with the Dervish. Age up, got to be coming through for Marine Lord. Indeed it is. Going into the Eco Wing for growth. Beastie on 47 Vils. Marine Lord 34. Now, Beastie's looking for that age up as well. So Marine Lord's not going to be too far in front of him when it comes to it. Town Center takes out the Scout, and we hear Joan of Arc somewhere going down, maybe? Joan of Arc over on the east side. That's what it was. Keep comes up now for Corvinus 1. Been a pretty action-packed game right here. So far, we've seen a lot of action on the south side. We've seen the Joan of Arc and French players getting out early, but Marine Lord's now up to the Castle Age. 42 Vils against Beastie's 51. The walls are starting to come up here for Marine Lord. Wants to try and keep Beastie out as much as he can on this wood line. Relics get picked up. The Dervish were already in position. He's able to deny those away from Baltoon in the north. Baltoon with 4 relics picked up, and we now hear the Janissaries. Hold on, where did these gens come from? I think they came from the Archery Rangers, because there's only 2 of them. So they are able to take out the Gilded Knight. And now in the south of the map, this is what I kind of get worried about with Beastie, is he's been locked in combat. But, I mean, this is just the consequence when you spawn next to somebody, like, close. You just get a bad spawn. So I think Beastie's just got to try and, you know, hope next game he gets a better spawn. And it kind of sucks, right? You know, you don't want to be, you know, it sucks. I don't want to say it's unfair because it's RNG, and some people always have... Some people are able to find better spawns more often. Like, people like Puppy Paw just always seem to find these really crazy, isolated spawns. I think there's definitely, like, a bias that players have got towards where they go. I just don't know what it is. Maybe if we studied, like, 1,000 FFA games. You know, this is one of those things where I wish we still had Age of Noob in the community, because I could be like, hey, Age of Noob, could you study 1,000 top-level FFA games and determine what the bias is for spawning? Like, how do they do it? Like, is it along the north-south axis, the east-west axis? Is it always the axes? Is it these, like, the centers of the edges of the map? Is that the line that they're going off? Like, there's lots of different ways that you could do it. But, there's definitely a method to the madness. Beastie now aged up as well. Guildhall on food. It's up to 40. Looks like he's about to pick up the veterancy on the Royal Knights. Arbitration numbers starting to come and build up here. Needs to make sure he avoids losing too many units. Veterancy now coming through. Springwood emplacement, definitely going to be getting some good value, but remember this second TC on the front line, it's only got 2,500 health, so if Marine Lord does manage to stage an offensive, this could be tough for him. Now, the one saving grace that Beastie might have is he's on the outside rather than on the inside here. So if somebody comes in and says, hey, Marine Lord, I see that you've been in a bit of trouble this game, mind if I take your king? Beastie may actually be able to get out of it with his head. And on top of that, he's on 2 TC, which means that he's actually scaling into the late game. So I think as long as Beastie doesn't actually take a direct fight with Marine Lord, he's okay this game. I think that's it. Marine Lord's the piggy in the middle, though. And he is pink as well. So, you know, it's thematic. All right, well, Imperial Age has come through from Baltoon. Here's the first one up in the lobby. He's got 4 relics, which is good in an FFA game. But on a map like this, you'd kind of hope for a little bit more. Oh, I didn't even realize. Oh, I didn't even watch. Oh, poor Corvinus. We haven't even been focused on him. Kaio's been doing absolute work to him. Over on this east side of the map, the king for Corvinus is... Oh, no. Anatan sees the king. This is bad right now. The king's been spotted out. The Sofa Warriors are on their way. Kaio's got no idea because he's still age 2. The landmarks are still standing. And now Corvinus goes down. And don't worry. Is that a donation? That's not a donation. He's running the king. He's trying to keep the king away. Well, he's just trying to keep himself alive. That is not a donation, my friend. That is... A donation would be running over here and saying in the chat, hey, come and get your kill. That is not a donation. There's nowhere near that qualifies. All right, so that's Corvinus 1 being eliminated there. Anatan able to pick up a couple of points. He gets first blood. Of course, Kaio's going to be feeling very hard done by, but that's just the consequence of FFA. And honestly, I would say that that's a skill issue. You know, this is something that I was thinking about. Something that I was thinking about going into Outback Octagon was like, did you want to have rules against that sort of thing happening? But I don't think it's worth it. I think it's a skill issue, right? Like, at the end of the day, if you're attacking somebody, you need to know where their king is. And if he made that king run, we didn't see it happen, but if he made that king run while there were units there, 100% a skill issue. And if he attacked without locating the king, another skill issue. Like, he's attacking this keep. There's nothing inside it. It's not an issue of, like, oh, king donation. To me, it's like, first and foremost, it's not even, like, close to being classified as a king donation. Second of all, it's a skill issue. Because it's like, why weren't you searching? You've got, like, triple scouts right here. Why weren't you searching with your scouts for the enemy king? Sure, that's what you're going for. Anyway, that's my thought process on it. I know that, I think I might be on the, what's the word? But, like, I might be one of those, like, I'm the odd one out with those. I don't think that's a very popular take. You know, I think a lot of people are just like, no, you should only keep the king inside buildings and you should never have him run to escape. It's like, well, you know, he's age 2, so he's not going to be able to search for the king. So it's, you know, he's just hoping that nobody else sees the king down there and no one else has got units down there. Because, I mean, we'd have to double check, but I don't even know what Corvinus knew about that south side of the map. Anyway, that's enough talking about that. Let's focus. We'll head back to Sass's position. He's under pressure in the north, and you can see the Baltoon's going to start building up there for him. Kaio probably going to get taken out here. In this game, plenty of spears on the defense here for Lucifron as he takes down the enemy units. Keep in mind that Kaio is still in age 2 here. And now with Anatan picking up a kill in this game, it just kind of means he can chill. He doesn't have to fight unless he wants to. The push continues on that north. Sass going to be trying to hold on. King actually making a bit of a run for it. You can see he's got an angle heading down towards this keep. Fortunately, doesn't get spotted out on the route. Running over towards that spot. Couple of rams in the back. Vils in the town center. King inside the town center as well. And now, Vils start getting taken out. He's running them back. I think he just wants to go for a repair here and try and keep it alive as much as possible. Are there any other units in the area? Any other players looking? We could potentially see... I wouldn't be surprised... Oh my god, we could see Anatan potentially look to strike in the north. But speaking of striking, have a look at this as Marine Lord is looking to pick a fight here with Beastie. And this is something, as I said, Beastie wants to avoid this at all costs. Ideally, Beastie wants Marine Lord to take fights with other players. He wants other players to realize, hey, Marine Lord's in the middle here, and he could go down. The problem is Lucifron on the north of Marine Lord has gone instead for Kaio, because he knew that Kaio would be weak, considering he's still in the second age. And Marine Lord continues to posture now. 46 military pop compared to that of Beastie on 42, so they're very close. The keep could be the difference in the defense here. King is out. King goes down. And Lucifron picks up the kill. Pushes himself a little bit further, a little bit closer. Meanwhile, on the south side, more units go down. Beastie still holding on. Towards that top side, though. The keep is online for Sass. Still age 3. No age 4. No Great Bombard just yet. He definitely needs something to keep him alive. And Beastie reaches Imperial Age with the Red Palace in the back of the base. The most important thing here for Beastie is not to lose Vils and not to lose this town center. But with reaching Imperial Age, this is actually going to give his keeps the Arbalist emplacement. And basically means Marine Lord needs to get into Trebs if he wants to take out this keep and wants to take out this position. It's not going to be easy, but have a look at this. Beastie moving forward. Spots the mangoes. Sees that they're unprotected, but unfortunately, the Knights come in just in time to cover. And now Sass in the north going to be covering. Speaking of, have a look at this. Anatan going for a strike on Lucifron. Anatan's already picked up 1 kill this game. He's looking for a second. Will he be able to find it here? The units are making their way back. There's plenty of siege here. If the king goes out the north, I don't know whether he's going to have... He should have the ability to run out over to this TC. And indeed he does. Lucifron holding on for dear life. Meanwhile, back towards the south side. The war holds out a little bit longer. Sass under pressure on this north. One landmark gone down. Second landmark going down. Third landmark about to go down as well. Looks like Baltun may be able to pick up some kills here. Meanwhile, under the town center of Lucifron, more and more villages continue to go down. Lucifron down to 40 villages now. Third landmark. This is it for Sass. He needed a big game today. He needed a huge game. He's going to run Vils in. He's only got 2 military, but unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. The single Sipahi here trying to take it out, but that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. He is eliminated from the game, and the king is now exposed back towards the middle, though, and he's not going to be the only one. Baltun definitely in a good position this game. He's sitting at 200 pop. That'll push him to 250. And I think I'm going to reiterate what I said earlier. I think Baltun's in a great spot this game. Complete isolation in the north. 4 relics to his name, and I think killing over Sass, he does have the opportunity. Oh, I missed it. Sorry. Killing over Sass, he does have the ability to pick up relics. We missed a king kill, but I mean, to be fair, there was no contest here, and we kind of knew what was going to happen. So, look, I'll still chalk it up to a king missed. I'm sorry. It's getting late. 2:40 in the morning. All right. Well, Marine Lord now going to become the next target. Now, the big question is, when will the players realize? Because Marine Lord and Beastie are fighting each other, but they understand. Hopefully they understand. They're the ones that are actually going to be targeted down now. Because this is what happens when you get 2 of the world's best players and you put them next to each other. They just end up having a 1v1, and the rest of the world passes them by. So now you've got Baltun in the north with a kill, Anatan in the east with 2. And if anything, these 2 players, who are neighbors and have been enemies for the duration of this game, now all of a sudden may need to start teaming up to take on the rest of the lobby, because it is clear at this point, they 100% can say, this is a military runaway. This is clearly defined in the rules as one of those cases where you can team. Teaming, of course, is not allowed, except under conditions where there is a significant mutual threat. So as an example, Wham and Puppy Paw can't just team up because they're brothers. Or Beastie and Marine Lord can't just team up because they're playing in pink and purple. Or Baltun and Sass in the north can't just team up because they want to kill the rest of the lobby and then fight it out. There has to be a reason. A mutual reason. It has to be significant, and it has to be a threat. It has to be maybe a player is trading, so they represent an economic threat. Or perhaps the player has got 12 relics and is playing the Holy Roman Empire. That's definitely a reason I've been called out before playing FFA. Maybe not 12 relics. Maybe like 8 relics. But now these 2 little peas in the pod. Honestly, Beastie's played this perfectly. I think Beastie played this perfectly. You want to know why he played it perfectly? Excuse me. Let me explain. He did damage to Marine Lord early, but it wasn't to kill him. It was just to delay him. Just to make sure that Marine Lord doesn't destroy Beastie. At least that's the way that I see it. Because Beastie definitely could have tried to fight, and he could have tried to commit. But if he did that, he knew what the outcome would be. So he played that well. And even right now, he is still resisting. Well, I say that, but he's doing the right thing. He's going straight in for the Trebs. He's picked off 1, 2. He gets 2 and falls back. All he's doing is just prolonging this. He knows it's only a matter of time until somebody else comes and picks on Marine Lord, and he just has to wait for that knight in shining armor. He's continuing to wait. He just doesn't want to fight, and this is, look, it's perfect. It's literally pixel perfect. You could not play it better than this. And it sucks, right? Because he's losing buildings. He's losing landmarks. The town center is going down, but he's on 113 vills. He's basically maxed at this point. He's got a bigger army, or a bigger population than Marine Lord does. But he wants to avoid fighting at all costs, because he knows if he fights, he's weak, and someone else will pick him off. He has to maintain military numbers. He needs to win this game. Now, granted, he doesn't need to win, but he wants to win, as do all the players. But he especially needs to score points. That is what he's going to be looking for, and that's very tough when you've got players like Baltun in the north who are now really starting to gear up. Have we got another single sacred site position in the middle? I think we may. Yeah, we do. I didn't even realize at the beginning. Let's check in with Anatan and see how he's doing. I always look down here because it looks like there's so many units, but it looks like that. Oh my god. 66 Sofa Warriors? That's a lot of couch. That's a lot of seating space, my friend. And I think it's just, I think Anatan's just waiting because he knows that if he attacks Marine Lord, he's probably not going to come up with a kill. But he knows that if Marine Lord and Beastie fight, he'll be able to take either, at least one of them. The trouble that he's got is if he wants to try and win this game, though, Baltoon represents the biggest threat. And even if he takes out, let's say he takes out Marine Lord, then that just leaves Beastie and Baltoon to take him out. So here, I think if anything, he has to play this very, very patiently. And Beastie's still waiting for a hero. Guildhall stands. 1,000 stone inside. And now Baltoon. Have a look at this. Finally, the knight in shining armor comes from behind. He's waited 26 minutes for this, but Beastie breathes a sigh of relief and says, far out. Final. Oh, the Manganiques! They look scary. They're not. They look really scary. They are not. That looked amazing, didn't it? That looked incredible. I was so worried right then. But the age up comes through from Marine Lord at the perfect time. I don't know whether it's going to be enough. There's a lot of infantry in this little position, and now Beastie, he's given a little bit of respite in this push, but not a lot of damage is done to Marine Lord. You can see Beastie's got a couple of units in the base here, a scout or two. He sees exactly what is happening, and he knows about Baltoon. He knows that, hey, there is a second shooter in this game, and he's looking, he's looming, he's around the back, and I don't know what words have been exchanged by these players. But I suspect at the moment it will just be words of warning. Get out of here. Get out of here, kid. Leave me and Beastie to do it. To tango together. Elite upgrade still yet to come through from Marine Lord, but I suspect they're probably about to come through any second. This guy wouldn't take a fight in the Imperial Age without getting them. Arbaletria upgraded. Elite Horseman through for Beastie. Mango's on the back. Yet to see the big upgrades coming through for them just yet, but the more Beastie fights, the tougher it gets. Continues to fall back. A lot of damage on these camels. He's slowly working his way back. You can see the numbers are still pretty good for him. A lot of siege there. Trying to work in, trying to weave in a little bit of damage. Mango going to come up short. And Beastie's numbers still managed to hold. Economy's good. 117. Marine Lord down to 60 or 76 vils. Meanwhile, towards the north, Baltoon begins the push. Keep in mind, we got a lot of Sofa Warriors. How many have we got? We got 91 casual Sofa Warriors just chilling here. Anatan, of course, has been on 2 TCs for the majority of this game, so he has been booming his little butt off. 111 vils at the moment. But, I'll be honest, I feel like it's not the best position for Beastie here. The Trebs are going to kind of slow roll him down here, so you probably want to move some vils to repair. Or, oh, that's too many Trebs. I don't know if you can out-repair that. I don't think you can, unless you pull like 10 vils right now. I don't know how he deals with this. He's going to try and push forward. Because there's a lot of camels here, right? Like the elite desert raiders. And I don't think... Can you make spears against them? Oh, never mind. We'll worry about that later. We got a little bit of a fight over on this east side of the map. As the cleanup is coming through, Baltoon, of course, with plenty of gilded crossbows, do well against the Sofa, but they need a bit of a front line to help them out. And unfortunately, they don't really have a front line here. So they're getting cleaned up. But look at the... You know what? I kind of take it back. I kind of take it. He's down to 25 Sofa Warrior. I kind of take it back. Baltoon does a very good job at putting a dent inside the, or into the army. Meanwhile, back towards that west side, Marine Lord taking on Beastie in this battle of the Octagon. We got the 2 big boys on the top against the 2 little boys on the bottom side. And Beastie continues to kite back. Mangonels on the backside. I don't know how he's going to take these out. He's got a cannon. It's a little bit out of position. Second Mango might go down. It's got a little bit of health. Manganique on 1 HP, and you hate to see it. He's going to go in for it. He does manage to take it out, but he's losing a lot of units here. And this could be bad for Beastie in this game. Still going to continue producing. This is the second last landmark. The King will be exposed if he loses this, and the Trebs are slowly taking it out. Beastie had a hero, but the Trebs will be successful. King is on the ground, and he could just come in for a snipe right now, but all of the camels are dead, with the exception of like these 3 guys right here. Beastie now repairing. King is on the move. King is down into the town center at the back. He's thrown down another town center. Emergency TC. Still with a 40 vil lead here. And Beastie holding on for dear life in this game. Wow. Okay. All right. It's not over until the fat lady sings. And I can tell you what, she is quiet. We do not hear her just yet. Let's check in and see how Baltoon's doing. He's got 6 relics. So managed to pick up the relics from his opponent in the north, Sass. Still relics in the middle of the map that he's yet to take, but he has clearly taken out the, I think this is just a monastery that was here. We do see another landmark, but oh, look at this. Look at this. King's on the move. King's on the move. King is making a move. There's an outpost over here. That might be what he's going for. And you can see that Baltun is going straight for it. He says, come here. Come here. Give it to me. He's looking to try and throw up a... Oh, Beastie's putting the keep up over here, trying to secure the gold. King. Marine Lord running for dear life. Does Beastie know, though? Beastie doesn't... Okay. He's on the move. Needs to try his hardest to pick up this kill. I don't know if Marine Lord's going to be able to hold for very long, though. The units are already attacking the King. He's trying his best to keep it in there. King on the north side. He's getting blocked by his own units. He got blocked in, and Marine Lord goes down. Baltun takes him out. Picks up more points. And Beastie heads back to the drawing board at this point. Now, who do you... Beastie becomes a kingmaker at this point. It's just about who Beastie attacks. So how does Beastie win this game? Okay, Beastie, right now, needs to channel his inner Nikocado Avocado. He needs to be too... Oh, God. He needs to be screaming right now. Help me, help me, Anatan. Help me, Anatan. He's coming. Quickly. Quickly, Anatan. I need your help right now. He's got to fight under the Red Palace. Anatan, please. Please help me right now. We gotta fight him together. I still believe there's a way for Beastie to win this. I just don't know. I don't know. I mean, at some point you got to look at the facts, right? Like Baltun, Auto the Dragon, 7 relics, 300 pop. Beastie, I mean, he's only just hit 200 pop. He's going to try and take the fight here. Still outside the radius of the Red Palace, but of course it will provide a little bit of backup as those units do come closer. And then we go Archers, teeing off. He's got some good little choke points here. He's still managing to do a decent job. Guildhall will get focused down. Mango's still coming out in the middle of the map. There he is. He comes to the rescue, and maybe this is the time that he was looking for. Do we start to see these units? Yes. Okay. Let's do a quick king check. Let's see where things are, because stone walls are coming up. King check in the main town center. Emergency repairs is here. He's also got multiple angles that he can look to run this king. This is going to be a hard king to take, but definitely possible. Nowhere near as hard as like a king with stone walls around him, right? Now let's check in with Anatan. Anatan's king is in this keep. No boiling oil, no cannon emplacement, nothing. This is a 10k skill check right now. You can do a couple cannons and just a whole bunch of knights. So what Beastie needs right now, Beastie needs to be thinking on 2 fronts. Oh, but it's going to be so hard. And Baltun is just on the ball here, dude. Baltun is building outposts. And this stop any kind of sneaky play. Because what Beastie needs to do is he needs to be in 2 places at once. So basically, he needs these 2 to fight, and then he needs to set up a position. And the way that works is quite simple. He sets up down here with, say, like some bombards, and just blast through this wall. Whole bunch of knights come in, kill the king when these guys are fighting. And that's how you take out the first player. But then you need to be able to take out the second player as well. And you need to have a plan. And normally that would be like a whole bunch of siege workshops. And you try and bait the enemy into attacking you. And then you attack with siege in the north. And then a whole bunch of knights run in. And then you just kill the king. Like that's how you ideally want to do it as Beastie. It's going to be so hard for him to do that. And for him to find the space. Look at this though. He's going to go after the mosque. 4 relics down here. Looking to take Marine Lord's relics. Okay. If there's a Beastie, there's a way. I believe. If you believe right now, type it in the chat. I want to see. Have we got supporters for Beastie? Now, remember, he's also a kingmaker in the sense that the player that he attacks will potentially lose the game. So they want to try and both convince him that they are not the threat. But he knows both of them are the threat. He can't contest either of them. Not by himself. All right. I can see a lot of Beastie fans in the chat right now. Yeah, I can see Beastie fan number 321 in the chat. A lot of Beastie emotes in the chat as well. There you go. All right. They are cheering him on. They are rooting for him right now, their boy. But Baltun's going to be looking to stop him. And of course, Anatan is as well. Now, I just want to take a quick look at the scoreboard right now. I don't know if it's a wise thing to do. You know what? It's probably not a wise thing to do. I'm not going to do it. just because we do have action and I don't want to miss any and be like, oh, look at that. Baltoon's dead. And it's like, well, we missed it. Sorry, guys. I don't want to do that. I wanted to take a quick look at the scoreboard and see where things are just to get an idea. I'm not going to do that. But I'm pretty sure all three of these guys are sitting in like that kind of sweet spot where it's like the Goldilocks zone. You know, where it's not too hot at like Puppy Paw Wham at the top of the table. It's not too cold. You know, at the very bottom of the table, you know, core. That end of the table. I guess the point is, I think it's all three of these players are contesting the top 8 right now. And it is like, it's a serious contest. It's not like the very bottom player. I think all of these guys are like within a couple points of each other right now. All right, well, a little bit of a stalemate. No, I take that back. A little bit of a stalemate. A little bit of a resting period right now. You know, you've got the bread out of the oven. You're just leaving it to cool down. Beastie's starting to... and I love the fact that Beastie's clearing this out. You don't want to let these outposts come up. You don't want your opponent to have this vision across the map. So this is really, really important. But at the same time, you don't want to lose all of your army to the enemy Order of the Dragon. Really, really good. So the fact that both of these players are doing this at the same time, very, very good. All right, Beastie. Now, going to be losing the cannon. Don't fight. Don't fight, Beastie. Do not fight. Don't fight. I don't think you want to fight this, Beastie. He's going to fall back away from this. He's going to look to try and kite out the spears. Got a fair bit of damage. He's put down a whole bunch of Siege Workshop. These are Baltoons. Perhaps Baltoon thinking about attacking Beastie now. A little bit of a run by. He's going to try and siege down that keep. Indeed, he'll be able to do it. There's extra fire armor on it. But of course, Baltoon with a very big army sits at 260 out of 300. Beastie down to 150 pop. Vils are going to be on the run right now. He's going to have to head on home from this position. He does have a keep nearby, so should be able to hold. Keep in mind, it's got the emplacement coming through from the Arbalist, so it's always a little bit more difficult to try and contest these kind of keeps, because they just kill your units that much faster. But at the moment, on the south side, everything seems to be... Oh my god, that's so much. So many units. That is a lot of units. And keep in mind, we have a single Sacred Site in play. No one's taken it just yet, because they know if they do, they become the target of everybody. And look at this, Anatan spotting this out now. He sees that Baltoon is putting down Siege Workshops on this side. And both players are kind of in a good position on the south to try and deal with Baltoon. Because if I'm honest right now, I think Baltoon has by far the best position. Regnit's Cathedral, 8 relics, Order of the Dragon, 2 kills. Order of the Dragon's a very interesting civ, because when you're on 200 pop, you feel very limited with what you can do. But the moment you get to 250 pop, it just feels like you have got so much space to play with. And I think that's probably part of like the fact that they kind of like to stick around 100 vils, 120 vils, and you just notice your army size increase so much when you get that extra 50 pop. All right, well. Now Anatan gonna look to put on pressure. We can see that towards the south, more Siege Workshops are coming up. Beastie just holding off for the moment. He's at 170 population, not a lot of gold to his name, and that's going to be a big issue for him. Does Marine Lord have a market? He surely had a market. It may have just been sieged down. Excuse me. You know, one of the changes to FFA that happened when they introduced Regicide, the devs, is they made all of the landmarks die when you get eliminated. So basically, if you lose your king right here, all of your landmarks get eliminated. And that became a bit of a problem because, like, the Abbasid House of Wisdom used to be a landmark that can be traded with. It's a market. It acts as a market, and you can't do that anymore because it gets killed. So it's like it's one of those things where it's like, you know, it would have been kind of nice if you could have kept that, but I don't know why they did it. I guess. Wait, market is still here. I see a blacks. Oh, there is still a market. So if he wanted, he could trade. You put the market here. It wouldn't be that big of a number. This is a pretty awkward spot to trade to. But it would be possible. And he could also look to try and secure this and wall along this edge. Like this. And then wall down to here. And then they'll come around the corner. That could be another option for him. And as long as he can secure line of sight and then try and wall the market in, he can get gold that way. There is still gold on the map to be had. This 3.3k gold out here. Anatan with a big army now. How many resources are we talking in the bank? 150 vils. A decent chunk of change here as well. Beastie looking to force back Baltoon. I don't know whether we've got these two guys working together, but it kind of feels like we do, and I think that's absolutely fine. Even though Anatan's on 300 pop, you'd still have to say, like, at the end of the day, Baltoon has got to be the favorite here. Like, he's got way too much space, too many relics, great civ. It's just, it's a very nice combo, all working together. Scouts along the edge here, trying to find a way through. Stealing the gold to the north. Looks like that is walled in. Meanwhile, Beastie continues to clean up the outpost, doing the right thing. Mining camp here. Another outpost down a bit further. Lots of vision. Beastie actually sees these outposts. Couple vills out here as well. Just as long as he's cleaning up around the edges, he's doing everything right. You want to try and keep vision outside the walls as low as possible. And it leaves the outside of the walls as surprise to your enemy. So that when you do eventually go for like a cheeky snipe down here. By the way, where's the king? Has the king moved? The king, okay, he's put it somewhere safer. This is actually really, really smart by Anatan, because now there's an internal set of walls that are going to act as a perimeter. And it means that if Beastie wants to blast through the first layer of walls, he needs to now get bombards over to this one as well. So instead you might be thinking, okay, maybe let's go for a landmark snipe instead. Where are all the landmarks? I think they're all kind of close together. We'll double check a little bit later, but I think that could be an option for him to try and snipe out landmarks instead. All right, well, plenty of siege on the backside. The Mango's going to try and dabble with it as he got the upgrade. He does, of course, have adjustable crossbars here. Look at the amount of siege that we've got. Anatan trying his best, but all of the infantry gets in close and he slowly takes it out. He's collapsing on him from all the angles, but still the siege stands tall. Hand cannon is, and Beastie's broken through over on the west side. They're working together to try and take out the big dog in the north, Baltoon. Slowly taking things down. Now, the other thing that Beastie could do here is to try and do damage, but to not kill. And I think that's a really, really important thing. Because remember, if Beastie's doing damage, but he's not losing anything out of this, that's a really good thing. Because then it means Beastie's getting further ahead, right? Like 15k, 12k, these are good resource numbers. He just really needs to focus on gold as the most important thing. So if you can do damage and try and hinder the economy of Baltoon, but keep him in the game so that Anatan fights with him longer, that gives you more time to prep. Now let's check on those landmarks. We've got the Griot Bara. We've got the main town center. We've got the Grand Fulani Corral. And we've got the Mansa Quarry. So all three of these landmarks are very close to Beastie. This is 100% a winnable game for him. I'm of the opinion he can do it, especially now that he's closing off this line of sight from his enemy on the outside. This gives him another option. Relic in the back over here on this keep. Of course, the king nowhere nearby. The king is in this main town center still. 7,000 health. The keep will stay alive. Doesn't look like emergency repairs has been used yet, but the Ville's there to repair. Battering rams get taken out, but you've got to be careful though. There is a little bit of a push coming out on that position. A little bit more siege coming in from Anatan as well. Keep in mind that these two players, with their higher population, so Baltoon as well as Anatan, have got more room for economy. So they at the moment they don't have larger economies, but they have more room to get it out though. I guess that's the point I'm trying to make. They got big militaries. Let's just put it that way for the moment. Beastie's through. Have a look at this. There are units back up here to defend this. He's done well to spot this out. These are gilded units as well, so it's going to take some time to get through them. Beastie probably better off just killing the Vills and running away, honestly. But have a look at this. Plenty of Sofa Warrior making it through, and meanwhile, Anatan looks like he might be forcing a bit of a front here for Baltoon that he's going to need to address. Infantry's making their way. I tell you what, watching the Order of the Dragon play like this kind of reminds me of the English. You know how slow they are and immobile they are? It just feels like that. You know, they're really struggling here. Hopefully he's still going to look to... I really want to see him clean these up out here, and so he can get into position with some Vills. Just start to build those little satellite bases. They're very important. Battering ram actually going to be working down the stone walls on the outside. Still that king inside the main town center. Beastie now. Let's check in with him and see how the push is coming. Lots of Vills. A lot of Vills. Oh, he's looking to take the gold. 2.5k gold on this. 2.6k gold on this. Keep down. Take this mining camp. We'll take this gold. Definitely the right call. But see, the trouble that you want, or that you've got here, you don't want Baltoon to die. You don't want Baltoon to die. You want him to have a very slow, painful death, but you don't want him to die. At least not yet. It needs to be a long, drawn-out death. And you might be looking at this saying this is unfair, it's a 2v1. Mate, this is FFA, baby. This is FFA. When you get ahead like this, it is their right to team up on you. It is their right. It is their obligation to team up on you. If they don't team up on you, that's a failure. That's a skill issue on their part. They should have teamed up on you. You were so far ahead. Big mango shots at the back. Anatan looking to try and connect. Baltoon's landmarks under attack. He's looking to siege them down. They're all quite close together, actually. The cannons now in focus. Mangoes at the back. I don't know how he's going to hold against this many mangoes. Look at the amount of mangoes that are here. Absolutely ludicrous. Town center being focused down. All 4 landmarks right here next to each other. And now Baltoon doesn't have a lot of resources in the bank. He's 172. Oh, Anatan looking incredibly good this game now. You've done too much damage now, Beastie. Where was the king? The king left the town center? I missed it. The king left the TC. The TC must have been taken out. It had to have been taken out, and then the hand cannoneers sniped it. I guess I just missed it. I came over for a second. Apologies. The TC must have got taken out, and the king got sniped by the hand cannoneers. That's the only way it could have gone down that quick. So he didn't even make a run for the Palace of Swabia. I think he just kind of knew that he was dead. That's got to be the play. So now, how does Beastie win this? I mean, Beastie knows that if there's a will, there's a way. We know because we've got global vision. But I don't know how much Beastie knows about the base of Anatan. And the trouble that you've got is because Anatan killed Baltoon so quickly, which, by the way, let me fix up. Oh, no, actually, we're riding on board with Anatan. I don't have to fix up the chat. I was going to press a button, but now I realize I don't need to do that. Because Anatan, or because Baltoon died, I mean, Beastie and Anatan killed Baltoon together. But because he died so quickly, it now just gives Anatan an opportunity to kill Beastie very quickly. And he's in position straight away. And Beastie never even really got an opportunity to build up. And that's what he kind of wanted to do down here. Like, when you're in this position, I think the best opportunity for Beastie would have been like a whole bunch of cannons or like bombards. And then just go straight for the throat. You never, like, you're never 100% sure whether you're going to make it or be able to make it. But like 10 cannons, 10 bombards for these landmarks. We know about them. I don't know whether he does, though. And that could be the difference. But Beastie now, he's going to have an uphill battle. 239 military. He's going to try. The last defense. He's done well to make it to this stage of the game, but unfortunately, I don't think he picks up any points here. I haven't seen a single kill out from him. Still 200 pop. He's going to hold. And it's just one of those unfortunate events where you just spawn too close to Marine Lord. Like, had it been, you know, had he spawned close to Sass, he was able to kill Sass very quickly, grab the points, and then, you know, move on to the next stage of the game. But he spawns next to Marine Lord, one of the best in the business. And that's trouble. All right, well, Marine Lord makes his way down. Oh, sorry, Marine Lord. Anatan makes his way down, excuse me. Mango City, baby, look at this. We got mangoes on both sides. Across the aisle, the horsemen try and make their way to the top side. Keep under pressure by the bombards. Mangoes trying to stay alive. The inner wall has been taken out. The Vils are repairing, or at least doing their best to keep it out. Big shots onto the mangoes, or onto the units at the front. Hand cannoneers have to fall back. Sofa Warriors slowly going down. He's trying his best to keep them alive, and all of Beastie's mangoes are gone. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that might be it. It's going to be very hard for him to come back in this game with such a big army coming in from Anatan. A tough game for him here, but in the end, a very well-played game. And as Beastie runs out the king, ladies and gentlemen, your victor for today is Anatan. All right, ladies, and you might be wondering at the end there, oh, wow, king donation. No, don't worry. When it's the last two players, we kind of like get rid of all those rules, and it's just like, you know, we let them do their thing. They can bring their king out. They can surrender. They can do whatever they like. Well, good game going over to Anatan. He's going to pick up plenty of points for winning this game. Of course, he picked up a couple kills along the way. And we also saw first blood going over to, I think it was Kaio? Kaio picked up first blood. So there could be a lot of movements in this next little bit that we're about to see. I'm just going to get confirmation from, oh, hold on, give me a second here. I have to check Discord from our admins. Corvinus has been penalized with 1 point due to donating the king to Anatan during the game by moving the king towards a known enemy location instead of further away into a safer location. Kaio has been awarded the points for the kill on Corvinus instead of on Anatan. Whoa! Okay, we got a little bit of drama here, ladies and gentlemen. So remember earlier how I was talking about how that was a skill, like a skill issue, right? A skill difference. That right there is my take. But just remember, I'm not the admin of the tournament. And the reason why I do that is because I can point the finger at the admin and say, if you've got a problem with that, mate, it's not my fault. It's the admin's fault. Now, of course, I employ him. I pay him. So, I mean, I'm the guy who hired it. But at the end of the day, that's what we do. And we have someone here who's impartial. And so that has been designated as a king donation there because of that. And we do actually have that in the rule books now that I think about it. He moved it towards a known enemy location. So, I mean, yeah, I can understand it. So you might be wondering who's the admin? The admin is Cow. He is a magical cow, and he does a lot of admin stuff. Or I shouldn't say admin stuff. He does a lot of umpiring for the for the EGC TV as well. He's a very experienced head admin. So there you go. So that is a big something that we'd sort of forgotten about at the start. And interestingly, I just mentioned that then. I said I think Kaio picked up the first blood on Corvinus 1, but then I totally forgot that he didn't get the kill. Obviously, that's been fixed up. So let's go take a look. I can see somebody in the chat saying, "Are you sure it's an admin?" Just asking because I'm from the Australian Tax Department. Exactly. He's not an admin. He's not doing admin work. He's doing very specific umpire work here. Let's take a look at the leaderboard and see what we've got. Okay, so at the moment, so players from that game: Marine Lord 41 points, Corvinus 1 31 points. Bowtoon 31 points, Beastie on 30, Anatan on 30, Beastie on 30. Oh my god. Look at them all, dude. Oh, okay, so because of that swing, just to like give you a little bit of information, so because of that swing right there, so Corvinus lost 1 point. So he's gone from 32 points now down to 31. And the kill that was originally from Anatan, and is instead moved to Kaio now, means that Anatan doesn't jump in front of everybody because he got a king donation, basically, and first blood. And obviously, you know, the admin said, nope, that doesn't count because that is very clearly in breach of the rules. But then Kaio gets moved up as well, and he's now ahead of Lucifron. This is literally anybody's game except for Sass. I'm sorry, Sass, but like at 16 points, I don't see... I mean, it's possible. It is 100% possible that Sass comes back. Wait, he lost 8 points? Wait, what? Hold on. Oh, Corvinus has been penalized with 1 win. Oh, not 1 point, 1 win. Oh, damn. Oh, Corvinus has been penalized with 1 win, minus 8 points due to donating the king to Anatan. Wow, that's a lot of points. Wow. That is a lot. Okay. But just remember, so we have it very specifically in the rulebook, and I'm just going to go back there. I'm going to read the rules out, or the rulebook out to you right now, just so the players know what they're getting into. Let me open it up, and now for you guys watching on Discord right now, you'll be, watching along and trying to see what I'm saying. You won't be able to see it. So the rules state that. So give me a second here. So we have a rule in here about the admin. Oh, okay, so king donation. Intentionally moving your king to a location where a known enemy threat or presence is, especially when under attack by a different player, is banned. The admin reserves the right to issue a penalty to a player deemed in breach of this rule. That's the rule. It's in the rule books, okay? So Corvinus 1 definitely moved his king intentionally to a different location where a known enemy threat was. He didn't move it. He moved it towards Anatan. He knew that there was an enemy threat or presence there, and he was under attack by another player, but we say especially when under attack by another player is banned. So if he had moved it to the north, I think he would have been okay. But because he moved it to the south and looked like he was kind of moving it towards Anatan's base, that I think is probably the straw that breaks the camel back. And then the admin reserves the right to issue a penalty to a player deemed in breach of this rule. So one could, at the end of the day, the admin reserves the right to issue a penalty. It is ambiguous intentionally, because if it's a very egregious situation, they may issue an 8-point penalty. If it is not, it may be a 1-point penalty. But in this case, it's obviously just been an 8-point penalty because at the end of the day, we're at the pointy end of the stick. We're at the finals, and Corvinus 1 should know better in this situation than to run his king like that, especially towards where an enemy is. So look, I will go back to my original points that I made where I was like, you know what, like, oh, I think this is a skill issue. And remember how I said, like, I think I'm in I think I'm the only one with that opinion. I said, like, I'm the only one who thinks like that. Yeah, you could definitely see I'm the only one who thinks like that. The admin very clearly coming in and saying, no, you're wrong, Drongo. He breached the rules. And for anybody saying that Corvinus 1 may not have known that Anatan was in that direction, the admins have confirmed that he used the king ability and was able to see that Anatan was down there. So they're satisfied that he did know that it was there. Anyway, hopefully that sorts you guys out. Hopefully that. All right. We got ourselves a bit of drama here in the Octagon, but tune in to the next episode because I suspect the drama ain't it just yet.